What's up everyone, Technic here. In today's video, I will be teaching you how to record your gameplay on your PS Vita or your PS TV. Big disclaimer, one is definitely better than the other. That being said though, I will be teaching you how to do both ways and teaching you what you need to achieve both of these methods. So, let's get started, shall we? The first method that we're going to be talking about is recording your video on a PS Vita. Now, the reason why I say video is because you're going to be only recording the PS Vita's video. As far as recording the audio, that requires a little bit more setup, and the audio quality will not be as good as recording on a PS TV. The reason why I say that is because this involves you either using something called a Vita dock or using something called a audio interface. Now, 9 times out of 10, people will not have a Vita dock and people will not have an audio interface. So for this video, I will be teaching you how to record video because everything that you need, you already have. And if you don't have it, I will be teaching you how to get it, because recording video on your PS Vita is actually as easy as just installing a plugin on your PS Vita and then doing some configuration. So let's go ahead and get started with this one. So when it comes to recording a PS Vita screen, the 3 most important things that you will need is a PS Vita 1000 or a PS Vita 2000. You will need the corresponding charging cords for each PS Vita, whether that is a PS Vita 1000 or a PS Vita 2000. And last but not least, you will need a PC, specifically running Windows. In this method, we will be using a PC running Windows. I am sorry, Apple people, but this is not going to be the video for you. The most things that we do on this channel will be running through Windows. Most people use Windows. However, I will try to find a Mac alternative for you in this video. So, I wanted to touch up on something before we did continue. When it comes to recording your PS Vita 1000 or PS Vita 2000's screen, you're going to want to get a data transfer cable if you do not have one already. So, the easiest way to tell on this is if I were to type in PS Vita 1000 data transfer cable and searched it up. As you can see, Fun Turbo sells one for about $9. Probably plus shipping, it'd probably be about $10. But at the same time, it says data and power. For the PS Vita 1000, if you do not have an official data transfer cable already because your original one came with one, this is the one that you want to buy because it says data and power. You don't want to buy one that just says charging cable unless you read it in the description and it specifically says it is a data transfer cable. Most of the time though, I will say this, when it comes to the PS Vita 1000, most of them, if not all of them, are all going to be data transfer cables, just because the proprietary cord that is used for the PS Vita 1000 has that capability built inside of it already. Now that being said though, I said most if not all. Some of them which is very rare, by the way. Some of them out there are just charging cables, but I just showed you the one to get. Now when it comes to the PS Vita 2000, you just want to type in micro USB data transfer cable, because the micro USB port is what's on the PS Vita 2000. As you can see, that is a micro USB port, or a micro USB cord. But as you can see, it says data transfer speed. It has data transfer on it. That is the one that you want to get. So when it comes to the PS Vita 1000 and the PS Vita 2000, I showed you what cords to get. Now, that being said, there are going to be a few things that we will troubleshoot if your PS Vita screen is not appearing. Most of the time, the first error that we are going to check is if you plug in your PS Vita after we do the necessary steps that we're going to do and it doesn't appear. I'm going to get into that, but right now what I wanted to show you is you need a data transfer cable specifically to make this work. Now that we got that across, we're going to go ahead and continue with the next step. For this next step, we will be going into Auto Plugin 2. If you do not have Auto Plugin 2 installed on your PS Vita, I'll leave a video in the link of the description on how to install Auto Plugin 2. If for those of you that do have it already, we're going to go ahead and go into Auto Plugin 2. After Auto Plugin 2 is finished loading, we're going to be clicking on Vita Plugins. So click on Vita Plugins, go to Install Plugins, and then we're going to scroll all the way down until we get to the plugins that start with the letter U. There's going to be 3 versions of this plugin, which is called the UDCD UVC. So as you can see, it says stream your Vita screen to your PC over USB. That is the official plugin. We also have the UDCD UVC LCD, which is this one. And we also have the UDCD UVC OLED, which is this one. The difference between these two is all in the name. So the UDCD UVC OLED is going to be for the PS Vita 1000. For the UDCD UVC LCD, this is going to be for the PS Vita 2000. So, depending on which one you have, that is the one that you're going to be installing. So press your confirm button to install the plugin. I am not going to be installing this plugin on the video because I am recording through a PS TV. That being said, please install it on your respective PS Vitas. I will be installing this plugin on my PS Vita 1000, and then I'll be continuing on to the next step. The next step that we're going to do is we're going to be typing in OBS in Google. We're going to be downloading this program. OBS is a screen capturing and live streaming software. I actually used to use it a lot back in the day, so I'm happy to teach this. And then we're going to click on the download link specifically, because depending on what you're using, but again, we're using Windows computers, hopefully, or you're hopefully following along on a Windows computer. We're going to be downloading the Windows installation. I'm not going to download it because I already have OBS installed on my PC. So I'm going to go ahead and minimize this, and as you can see, I already have OBS open up and everything, but I'm going to start this from scratch, so I will be deleting this. What we're going to be doing is we're going to plug in our PS Vita into our PC. You'll know this with that confirmation sound that just played. What's displaying right now is not my PS Vita, this is my PS TV. So if you're doing a fresh setup for your PS Vita after you install that plugin, we're going to be pressing the plus button on scene, on the scene box. And we're going to add a scene, and we're going to be calling this, you can call it whatever you want, but I'm going to call it test PS Vita, and then I'm going to press OK. So as you can see, I now have my test PS Vita scene, and as you can see, nothing is on the screen. So now we're going to be going to our sources box, and then we're going to be pressing the plus sign that says add source. After we press that, we're going to be adding a video capture device. Now this is a big hint on if some of you are experiencing any errors when it comes to this. Now mind you, I said video capture device, not game capture, video capture device. So I'm going to click on this. We're going to be naming, you can name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it Tech Nick 1000. And then I'm going to press OK. And as you can see, it says device up here. I'm going to click this. And as you can see, it says USB 3 video, it says PS Vita, and it says OBS virtual camera. I'm going to click on PS Vita. Now, if everything was done correctly, as soon as I click on PS Vita, my PS Vita screen will appear. And this is my PS Vita screen. So after that, I'm going to go ahead and press OK. Now, you can edit the size of your boxes and everything. It should be able to perfectly fit on your screen. That being said, it might require a little bit of configuration, but this is your PS Vita screen. As you can see, this is me moving around my screen and everything. I have a couple of my games set up. I have my RetroArch set up. I have my PKGGA set up. And this is my PS Vita. If I were to switch back over to my PS TV, as you can see, this is a whole different capture. So this is my PS TV. This is my PS Vita. So that being said, we have successfully set up our OBS to capture our screen. If you wanted to record your screen, all you would have to do is go into settings. You can go to output, and then you go to recording. So whatever you record, you can actually go to recording path, go to browse, and then you can pick the folder that you want your recordings to go to. I have mine set up to one of my SSDs to go into a folder that says OBS recordings, so it's easy for me to find. Most people just set it up to save to their desktop. That's totally fine too. But at this point in time, yours is already good to go. So if I were to start recording the screen right here, I can just press like the up and down button. Again, this is my PS Vita. And then I stop recording. And then I were to go to my folder. This is the thing I just captured right now. So if I were to play it, that is the PS Vita footage that I just recorded. You know, just a simple video, just to show you. And at that point in time, you would be able to, I'm going to delete that too. At that point in time, you would be able to put your own voice recording over it. You can put music in the background of it if you wanted to, or if you just wanted to play a game, you can totally do that as well. So that being said, that is how you would set up your PS Vita 1000 or 2000 to record games. So again, I say record video and video only. That is how it works when it comes to the PS Vita 1000 and 2000. If you wanted to record the audio, this is not the video for that. I am specifically showing you how to record your video footage only. I am actually going to close that before I get a copyright strike. But I'm just showing you that it loaded the game up just fine, and I basically just wanted to show you that, you know, the PS Vita is working and, you know, recording its video. Now we're going to move on to rather, how to record the PS TV. The PS TV requires a little bit more devices, but the setup is very, very easy. So let's go ahead and get started with the PS TV method. Now, when it comes to recording on a PS TV, you do need an additional item when it comes to recording everything on this thing. However, you can record video and audio when it comes to recording on a PS TV, which is why if you ever wanted to be serious about recording gameplay or recording anything really, I would always go for the PS TV. Now that being said, when it comes to recording on a PS TV, you do need 2 HDMI cables. You need a controller. You also need a capture card or a capturing device. I can show you a very, 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 very cheap alternative to a capture device, because this is a PS TV. It honestly does not require that much power, it really doesn't require that much power. It doesn't require a powerful capture device. And if you do have a semi-powerful computer, which most people do, I will show you a very cheap alternative of what you can buy, so you can make recording work on this thing. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to jump back to our computer, and I'm going to be going to Amazon. The 2 additional things you will need for your PS TV when it comes to recording your video and audio is you need an external capture card. It can be internal capture card if you already have one. Some people already have capture cards, some people don't. So if you do not have a capture card, and especially if you're running a laptop specifically, or if you are running a PC and you don't want to install something else on your PC, you can get one of these very affordable third-party capture cards. I am recommending one of these. As you can see different variations of basically the same thing. I can definitely tell you this one, this one, this one, and this one, and this one are basically the same exact capture card, just for different prices. Some of them come with more cords, which is why they're a little bit more expensive, but they are literally the same exact capture card. And the reason why I'm recommending all of these is because this is the exact one that I'm actually using right now. So this capture card kind of runs off of the power of your PC or laptop, and I can definitely tell you it does not take a lot of power to capture the video and audio of a PS TV. This is why I'm recommending this one, because you don't need to. If you want to, more power to you, especially if you are using it to capture, other things. Some people want to capture PlayStation 3, 4, 5 footage. That being said, I will talk about the next thing you need after this. So for about 18 to about $30, that's how much the capture card is going to cost. Instead of buying one of these $250, one of these $160 capture cards, just go ahead and get this one. This is honestly the only one that you need, especially when it comes to the PS TV. And the second thing that you will need is an HDMI splitter. Now, that being said, this is the one that I'm using, but all you would need is one that has a 1 input and 2 outputs, which this would be one right here. So the reason why I'm showing you this one is because it has its own power source. I repeat, it has its own power source. That is one that you want to find. These ones are okay, these ones are okay, these ones are okay, but it's better to have one that has its own power source. Now, why am I adding an HDMI splitter? Notice I didn't say HDMI selector. A splitter and selector are two different things. I repeat, an HDMI splitter and an HDMI selector are two different things. You need an HDMI splitter, not selector. HDMI splitter. The reason why you need an HDMI splitter is because this is what gets past something called HDCP, which is HD copyright protection. So to get past HD copyright protection, you need an HDMI splitter, and it'll essentially trick the HDCP into allowing you to stream and show whatever footage and whatever video that you're showing on your device. A PlayStation 3, 4, and 5 all use HDCP. So if you ever wanted to record that as well, you actually also need one of these HDMI splitters as well. So once you have both of these devices, you will be able to go into OBS, and you would be able to set up your PS TV just the same. So if I were to go to my PS TV, let me go ahead and go to properties. There we go. I forgot I have to delete this one. And then I'm going to delete this as well, or more hide it. Once this is set up, it's basically plug and play. Like, all you have to do is set it up as a video capture device, and it will quite literally just pop up the same as I'll actually show it right now too. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete this one, and then I'm going to add a video capture device. I'm gonna name this PS TV 2, and as you can see, it kind of automatically pops up just because it's the first one that pops up. But as you can see, this is my PS TV. I can confirm this by going into my Vita shell, and I had it set up to whatever I touch on the touch screen on my controller, it'll actually show up as a pointer on the PS TV itself. So we have successfully set up recording for our PS TV as well. So setting up recording on the PS TV is a lot easier. Like I said, you actually do not need to have custom firmware on your PS TV to do it this way, because you're essentially just plugging in a capture card on your PS TV and then it'll load up. but that's how you would do that on this. So before I end this video, the two biggest troubleshooting steps that I will leave y'all is to confirm that your PS Vita or your PS Vita's cable is a data transfer cable, and if you may have to disable your webcam, and this is for my laptop people. The first step requires you to just go into Vita Shell, enter into USB mode, and then plug in your PS Vita into the computer. If all your files display on USB mode, which I will show you right now actually. Let me go ahead and go into my PS Vita, go into Vita Shell, and then I'm going to turn on USB mode. Now that I turned on USB mode, as you can see, my PS Vita displayed all of the files and all of the content. This lets me know that this is a data transfer cable. So if I have confirmed this and everything is cool on that, then that's step one, everything is okay. If your PS Vita is still not displaying on OBS after this, and again, this is more specifically for my laptop users. Now, if you have a webcam on your desktop setup, this also applies to you too. Sometimes OBS likes to prioritize your webcam over your PS Vita. I can confirm this by going into my device manager and going into cameras. As you can see, the only thing that I have listed is my PS TV running through my capture card. If your PS Vita is not displaying on OBS, you may have to disable your webcam on your laptop. I repeat, you may have to right-click your camera and go to Disable Device so your PS Vita could work. I'm going to tell you right now, most of the time, you will not have to do this, and most of the time, if you plug in your PS Vita after you install this plugin, it should work every single time right off the bat. But I'm just showing you the biggest troubleshooting steps you can take to make it work. Other than that, this is Technic. In today's video, I have showed you how to record your gameplay and record videos in your screen from your PS Vita 1000, 2000, and PS TV in the various methods that's required to do so. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask in the comments. I tried to cover everything that I could when it comes to recording the video portion. When it comes to recording the audio portion of a PS Vita 1000, 2000, that is going to be a whole separate video. But other than that, if you like this video, please leave a like. If you dislike this video, please leave a dislike. And I will see y'all in the next tutorial.